What's up, fans? Cam Buford here. We're here at SoFi Stadium, wrapping things up as the Broncos came to town to take on the Chargers for the final game here at SoFi Stadium this season. They don't make the playoffs, so this is going to be, next week is going to be a wrap after they play Kansas City Chiefs. But they ended it on a good note. This week here makes 3 consecutive wins, 3 consecutive game-winning drives by Justin Herbert, the rookie, which is pretty spectacular considering how things played out during the beginning of the season. Justin Herbert again setting records today. He set the rookie touchdown passing record, surpassing Baker Mayfield with 27. He hit a touchdown pass today that makes 28. Also, he hit Austin Eckler on that touchdown pass. Austin Eckler now becomes the number 4 running back to catch 15 receptions before the age of 26. There's 4 guys: Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, Chuck Foreman, and there's one other guy. You go do your homework and come back with their research. There's 4 guys: Chuck Foreman, Christian McCaffrey, now Austin Eckler, and then there's one other guy. Astute football fans should know who this is. It's a guy that dates back to the mid-'80s, I believe, actually, but astute football fans should know who it is. Austin Eckler becomes the youngest guy to do so, 25 in some years, under 26 years old. So very impressive. The Chargers win. They jumped up to a 13-0 lead early by halftime, although they did kind of let the Broncos come back in the game. They're able to hold them off. McManus tied up the game late in the fourth quarter with the 52-yard field goal. That was his 10th 50-yard field goal since 1991. That was most in the Broncos' history since 1991. So, as you know, McManus kicks in those high altitude. He kicks a lot of 50-yard field goals. He had 10 of them in actuality. So, next year, fantasy football, you want to draft that guy because he kicked 50-yard field goals. Also, as I mentioned, this was their 3rd consecutive win. Justin Herbert's 3rd consecutive game-winning drive. He got that down. So Anthony Lynn now moves his record to now 5-7 in one-score games, which is pretty impressive. They did all of this without their Pro Bowlers. On the defensive end, Joey Bosa. On the offensive receiving end, without Keenan Allen. Both of them was named to the Pro Bowl last week. Neither one of them played today. So this made this a really good, solid team win because their defense played well by not giving up touchdowns to the Broncos. Their offense played well by scoring points, and their special teams played well by not having any blunders. No block punts, no block field goals, no kick returns. So it's a solid win by a solid, complete win, as Anthony Lynn would say, and you'll hear the conversation later. They talk about focus, finish, and complete the game. That was Anthony Lynn's comments, was how they wanted to kind of focus on this game and get this W. Again, final game in SoFi Stadium. Right now here, we're in the Corona room. I'll spin around and let you guys see it today. But beautiful stadium. Can't wait till fans get here. It's still weird to come into the stadium, 7,000 seats and no fans are here. It's kind of crazy. We had that experience at Staples earlier today just as well. It's real bizarre, real bananas. So Michael Badgley wins the game on his 4th field goal of the game. His longest being a 43-yarder, which was, again, pretty impressive because he missed some key field goals in the last couple of weeks. So it was all in all, it was a complete win by the Los Angeles Chargers. They have a tough matchup to go to when they go to KC this week. At the beginning of the season, I predicted an 8-8 year. There's 6 wins. So if they win next week by chance, they could have 7 wins. It'll be a game off that record. But I didn't predict the injury to Derwin James. Nobody knew Justin Herbert was going to come out balling like he has. And then they had the offensive line has been kind of a mix-mash of pieces and a revolving door, if you will. A lot of guys playing a lot of different positions. So hopefully they shore that up. I don't know if the 3 consecutive wins that they finished the season off with until they go to KC, KC's going to be a loss. I don't know if the 3 consecutive wins is going to be able enough to Anthony Lynn retain his job? We'll see. That's a question that's up in the air. That he's still on contract for one more year. Knowing the team, knowing the ownership, they'll likely keep him on for one more year, as well as the GM, and kind of see what they can do next year, so they don't have to pay him if they fired him, and then the new coach, whoever they brought on. So we'll see how things transpire. That's going to be the question of the offseason. Do they bring in a new coach? Do they bring in an offensive coordinator? Do they bring in a defensive coordinator? That's going to be the questions. But more than likely, at least they retain Anthony Lynn, they retain Tom Telesco, and possibly do some a switch up on the defensive side of the ball. The defense gave up a lot of big plays this season, which really hurt their team and kind of put them behind the 8 ball. So we'll see how things transpire. Again, they're in KC next week, so we'll be watching things from home. I'm checking out. This is their final game recap. You'll see from SoFi Stadium from me this year. Next year, hopefully there'll be fans here, and we can do this. I can have some fans in the background. That'll be pretty cool. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for sticking with me all season long. You got any questions? Hit your questions. Send me your questions on the YouTube in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Or you can hit me up on Voice of the Fans on Twitter, or What's Good in Sport on Twitter. Either one, you'll find me there. Or however you're looking at the video, put in your questions in the comment section, and then I'll still be covering football all the way through the Super Bowl, and then even into the draft. We're going to have a lot of talk about the draft, who's drafting what teams need what kind of players. So again, if you don't hear it on the Voice of the Fans podcast, which you should be listening to, you should be checking it out on any podcast platform that you use. Check out Voice of the Fans podcast. Put down any questions you got. All right, do my best to answer your questions on the comment sections of this video. And I want to thank you again for taking time to listen to my recaps and checking them out. As always, I do this for the fans, so thank you, fans, for making our voice your choice. There's 2 floors to this Corona Plaza. I'm on the upper level now. You see the lower level there. But hopefully next year we have some fans in the stands here at SoFi. But for now, we are out.